Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. So where are you coming to us from for people who don't know?
I'm from Toronto. I'm in Toronto right now, downtown.
Nice. So you
Yeah.
born and raised in Toronto?
Born and raised in Hamilton, Ontario. And then I moved here about 3 years ago. I was out living in Banff for a few years. And then I came here straight to downtown Toronto. But
Nice.
my home is Hamilton.
Nice.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit of backstory about kind of like your fitness career and how you kind of got into fitness and competitive fitness. Kind of give us some, just a quick little preview.
So I've been active my whole life. I was like a professional dancer up until probably like 2023. So I've always been active. I was a personal trainer 10 years ago. And then I kind of fell off of that. And then just lately in the past year, I've like fallen back, just like in love with the gym and nutrition and fitness. I just did my first competition a month ago. So I'm not overly, but I want to do it. And now I'm like hooked. So I'll be getting into that. But yeah, that's kind of where I am. I just did my first comp and my goal is to definitely do more next year for sure.
Looking back at your first comp, would you change anything? Would you do anything differently?
I would definitely prep longer. I told my coach, I was like, I want to do a show before the end of this year. And how are we going to make it happen? She's like, well, there's only one more show left and it's in 5 weeks. I was like, well, let's do it. So I would definitely change my prep time because I only did 5 weeks. And I felt like at the 4 week period, it was when I was like starting to see a change. And I was like, oh my gosh, if only I had 4 more weeks, I would definitely do a lot better. So that and not comparing like myself to other people would be huge because I am natural and I feel like I was always comparing myself to not natural athletes. So I'd say just like have the mindset and like not compare. But I don't know. So next year I'm definitely thinking April I'm gonna be competing again. So
Nice. So
yeah.
whereabouts did you compete? Were you in the WBFF, figure? Give us some
No, I
insight.
was in natural bikini. So
Okay.
I did the open category and the novice category. And I ended up placing better in the open category, which was weird than the novice. But I'll
Nice.
do bikini again. I think that's the category I want to stay in for sure.
Nice. And in terms of like your training and nutrition, leading up to the show, did you find it hard your first show? Was it easy?
Yeah,
Give
like because
us.
that was the first time I feel like I've ever like really dialed in. Like I've always been pretty fit. And my genetics, I'm gonna say, are have played a big part. I've always been like balance is everything, and I've never really like dialed in to nutrition too hard. I've always been fit. I've always had like working out 5 days a week and always stay active. Like that's always been there. But the
Mm,
nutrition was definitely the hardest part. And like cutting out the alcohol and just like having the same routine every day was like my biggest struggle.
mm.
But it
Would you?
was
Was there any sort of diet tips that you learned along the way that maybe you could share with us? That I know a lot of people out there are looking to probably burn weight, around the new year.
yeah.
Can you give us some insight on just some quick
I
hack?
would say like the biggest thing for me is like eating consistently at consistent times and like having more meals because I used to just like have 1 or 2 meals a day and it makes such a difference. Like I had 5 meals a day and they were at the same time every day and your metabolism just like it works so much better and it's just that would I say would be the biggest like thing that I noticed personally for myself was like eating maybe less but more often for
Mm,
me at
mm.
least.
And for you, do you find that like the keto works the best, low carb? What's kind of like, how would you summarize like your diet in
For me,
terms
I would
of?
say high protein is like high protein, low fats. For I have about 130 to 150 grams of protein a day.
Mm,
That just and that helps with like mindset and everything. I wake up like I need protein. If I'm like feeling anxious at any point, I'm like drink my water and eat my protein, and I find like instantly I feel better. So that's kind of where I'm at. I have protein and carbs are pretty high, I would say, but my fats are very low.
mm.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah. And, in terms of, for people out there who are obviously in the competitive world, I know you just kind of got started,
Yeah.
but is there any tips that you can give people out there in terms of like, would you recommend a coach? Would you recommend a posing coach? Like,
Oh, for sure. A
what are
coach
the,
for sure.
yeah.
Just in terms of like accountability, like there were so many days I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to like midway through, I was like, I'm not doing this, but you have a coach. So you kind of just like have that accountability and you're like, you're doing it for that person as well. And it's like a team thing and just for motivation. Definitely, I would get opposing coaching. That would be for sure. Because you think you have it, you can have all the dieting and all the tricks to go on stage. And then if you don't have the posing, that's where I would say I fell short completely.
Mm, mm.
I didn't have a posing coach, so that would be definitely something I would recommend for sure.
And did you work all the way until the show, or did you take like the last couple days off?
No, and I should have taken time off the week before because your body just like when it's in a stress mode and sleep is everything, which is what I was lacking. I worked like late at night and like late hours, so
Mm,
I was getting 5-6 hours of sleep for the whole week before, and it's just not. You should be getting at least 8 to 12 hours, at least that week leading up to
mm.
the show.
Well, I
Sleep's
saw
important.
some pictures of you. You look really shredded, like really like you came in really hard. I mean, I can't imagine what 12 weeks could do for you. I mean, that
Well,
could be
that's what I
brutal.
mean. I've never done that. I've never seen my body like go to that extreme in such a short time. So I can only imagine if it's like 8 to 12 weeks, just a few more weeks. I think I could have done so good. But so
Do you think that you like kind of like peaked at the perfect time, or did you peak a little early, or what was your thought process like
in
in the
in
last like
terms of
24 hours?
peaking, I think my body did the best it could. Like my show day, like it was the best my body had looked in those 5 weeks. It just I wish I had more weeks. Is what I
Mm.
yeah.
When you were on there, was there something that you felt like a little self-conscious of, like you would have liked to have brought it up a little bit, maybe your quads, maybe your calves? Was there like an area that you were like thinking in the back of your mind, like, oh my God, I wish I would have had more time for this?
100% my glutes. If my glutes were bigger, absolutely. I felt like my shoulders overtook. They were a little big, but my glutes like were pretty. I don't know if they were flat, but they definitely need to like grow the muscle. I've never really trained for a show but one more year, I think I'll be able to. And my calves are really big, but they aren't going anywhere. So that was a self-conscious. In terms of the category bikini, they're not known to have big calves, but it's something that I can't really train less or
Nice.
shrink. So,
Question for you, somewhat random. If it was your last meal on
mm,
Earth, what would you have?
a spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's. I think that would be like that was the first thing I got after my show. I don't know why. It's just I'm addicted. There's a Wendy's below my condo, and it's my go-to.
Just the burger, or are you having the fries and the shake, the whole meal? What?
No, I am not really like I'm not which I think has a good thing because like I'm not really a sweets. I like my sugar candy sometimes, but I'm not a big like sweets dessert thing. So
Mm.
just the sandwich I'd have two probably, but not
So,
the.
so that's your go-to then, the Wendy's spicy chicken
That's
sandwich.
it. That's my sweet. That's my yeah.
So post show, that's all we caught you with is a Wendy's chicken sandwich.
Oh
Nothing
no,
else.
no, I had a lot more, but that was the first thing I got. No, and I swear I haven't really ate or dialed in since. So I'm working on that. I'm like, who was that person for the 5 weeks? Because I've fallen off a bit, but
Yeah,
within moderation for sure.
nice. Did you have any sort of, times leading up to the show when you maybe didn't want to work out? Maybe you were like, fuck, I don't want to do this again. And what did you do to kind of push through it? Like, were you listening to some sort of audio? Was there some sort of mantra that you did? How did you get in the mindset to keep going when you didn't want to go sometimes?
Honestly, like I would say, like it was the middle mark, like leading up to my show. I was like, I don't want to do this. I just like wasn't seeing changes yet. Um, but like honestly, FaceTiming my coach, like that's why I recommend a coach. It was like I just call her whenever I was like, I don't want to do this. She'd calm me down, and then I would just go in the stairmaster for like 45 minutes and just like listen to audio podcasts or just like motivational speeches and just like get
Mm,
back and
mm,
then it just goes away. It's like a craving that you're just like, nope, just
mm.
stop. You're good. Keep going. But
So, was there a particular time or exercise, or whatever, that you were like, I don't want to do this? Like maybe it was like late night cardio, first thing cardio, stairmaster. What was like your like, oh my God, like I can't even.
Yeah, early morning cardio because I don't get home from work till like 2 a.m. and then you have to get up early because then you have to get all the meals in. So it's just, I would say the early morning cardio for sure. And I have really bad asthma, so I've never really had cardio in my workouts. I stay active. I'm always busy or doing a class or
Mm.
something, but yeah, the early morning cardio would be the number one thing that I'm just, it's hard.
Nice. What are your top three goals for 2026 when it comes to, yourself personally, maybe your fitness, just generally speaking, what would be like three big goals you're looking to accomplish in 2026?
Number one, another show and like place very good in that show. It'd be pretty ballsy for me to say get a card, but I feel like honestly, I if I start now, I think like I could, and I believe that I could do really good, naturally, and then see. But that would be a goal of mine. Just like do more. I'm on a good transit right now of like just like becoming an athlete for like brands and stuff, and just kind of keep going with my Instagram because I feel like I have good momentum right now.
Mm,
Um, and then just like be overall just happy and healthy and just like a calm mind like that.
mm,
And I feel like that comes with working out, which is what got me working out more and just like this lifestyle right now because
mm,
it really is just like changes your mindset, and that's like the most important thing.
mm. What would you say, like, when it comes to your routine, what are like three things that we would definitely catch you with your routine? Could it be like the same meal, the same type of cardio, or, what are three things that is part of your routine that is like a daily, this is part of the Fiona routine, like non-negotiable?
um Waking up and like my breakfast is like the same every morning. I would say that's like I wake up, I drink a liter of water, and I have a healthy breakfast, and then I'm like out the door instantly. And I walk so much, and
Mm,
I'll walk to the gym, and then I go work out right away. I get the day started. Like I get my workouts in the morning out of the way. That's like my number one routine, and then I'll do a like either a Pilates class or a boxing um, session during the day, and then I go to work at 5, and that's pretty much my routine every day, and then in between is just doing everything
mm.
else.
What about steps? Do you have a certain amount of steps you want to get in every day?
Not really, but I'm sitting for I don't sit during the day. Like I'm constantly on the go, so they're up there. I don't really track them. I know I'm walking. I walk an hour to work every day, an hour home.
Wow,
I'm and then everything else in between. So but I'm not one to track my steps. I don't
nice.
know. Maybe I should be.
Give us some insight on your recovery. Are you doing ice baths, cryo? Are you taking one day off a week? What are you doing to kind of get the body, recovered and, primed?
I love my cold plunges. I'm always doing cold plunges. I have one at my gym. Um, that has been great, a great help. Saunas are great. I sauna about twice a week, 3 times a week. Just like and hot like yoga, hot Pilates, I find really helps. But in terms of recovery, I'm recovering like Sunday, Mondays are my day off from everything. So I take it off, those 2 days off. That just works for me. Some people do 2 days on, a day off. I kind of do 5 days working out. I do like 3 leg days, a back day, and then an overall kind of full body day.
Mm,
That's just because I want to grow my glutes and that my lower half is what I want to work on. So that's just what I'm doing. Then I take 2 days off completely.
mm. Have you seen a lot of good results, with the 3 days on, with, pounding the muscle like that to grow the glutes? Like, are you seeing good results?
It works for me. I find I do like they're different body parts. I'll do glutes and hammies, and then I'll do like a back day, and then I'll do glutes and quads, and then I'll do like an overall full body. Kind of just like break it up. I'm not like pounding the same muscles day like every day, but my glutes definitely take the brunt like that. They're always like, oh my gosh, these are sore. But the
Nice.
2 days off completely from both, I feel like it really helps.
Who motivates you these days? Like, who do you aspire to be like, or who do you watch to get motivated, nowadays?
I wouldn't even say there's anyone in particular. They're just like you go on Instagram and you're just like it. You're just like hungry for more, and it's just everybody. You're just how can you not be motivated by everyone? And my like algorithm is just like these girls that I want to be like, oh my gosh, but you can't compare. But I feel like everyone's just like motivating me, and it's good. There's no one I would say in particular that I'm looking up to. But
For people who haven't seen your Instagram, right? They don't know much about you. Give us something interesting that not a lot of people know about you that they couldn't see on your Instagram. Something, it could be a little bit even slightly weird if you want, just something to make you a little bit more real for everyone.
I feel like my Instagram has a very like this girl doesn't smile, like she's like hard, like this girl's boring, or she just her whole life is just like her in like gym sets and like kind of strict, or like does this girl have fun? I'm like the opposite of my Instagram, and I'll be straight up, like other than me going to the gym, that is like the only thing that I would say my Instagram. And I love to travel, but I am so much more of this like not serious person. Definitely, so I'd say that would be like number one. My Instagram is not like who I am at all.
Do you think you're ever going to change that?
I actually put out like a video 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I want to start like showing my more authentic self. I don't want to like live this lie. And like I was going through a really rough patch, and like I just like my motivation was super down. And I was just like, how can I like put on this like outfit right now and pretend like life's okay, and just like, oh guys, use my code at checkout, everything's good. And it's just like, that's not who I am, and that's not who I want to be anymore. And then I got like so much good feedback after that, and like just really like my followers went up and like just started engaging more. So I definitely want to start just like changing who I am on my Instagram and just being more real. And like it doesn't have to be like one thing, like just fitness, because there's so much more to me like that I want to show off on Instagram, and I just like haven't been, kind of thing. So I definitely want to be more authentic. Like that is a major goal. So that would be a goal for.
Give us some, insight on you as a person, outside of fitness, for like myself. See, I don't know you, so give me some insight on kind of what you're about. I'd love to hear about it.
Like I'm just like this very down to earth like person. I'm like real, I'm genuine, I'm funny, I like to have a good time, I like to travel. I love friends, I love hanging out with like people, I like being in like loud environments. But I also like am like love my alone time. I do everything alone. I travel alone. um I really only travel alone. Just like a lone wolf, but also like I don't know. I don't know how to explain myself in just like this like quick time, but
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, what would be your favorite book that you've read?
Atomic Habits right now is like my go-to, like in terms of like self-help and healing. That would be like my number one book. I like read it over and over. It just like has changed my mindset completely. Just like bettering yourself a little bit every day, and just like changing just like a habit, or just yeah. I would say that right now I'm reading and I'm loving it.
Nice. And then for people like myself, who, if I haven't been to Toronto a lot and I want to come to Toronto, what's your favorite like go-to restaurant in Toronto? Like, where would you suggest people go?
For like good food or like an atmosphere. I'm
Like,
an Earl's girl, which is
yeah.
crazy. I love Earl's. Every single night after my shift, I am at Earl's. I don't know why. It's consistent. There's decent food. I'm not eating out a lot or like dining necessarily a lot, but when I do, it's like after work, and I'm just like I need something, and I want to like just see people. I sit at the bar. That is like my go-to. I know it's a chain restaurant, but that's my spot. I love Earl's.
And where's your favorite place to vacation? I know you mentioned vacation a few times. If you could go one place, even if you've been, where would you go?
Vietnam has been my favorite place so far. I really want to go to Japan this year. Asia, South Asia, just over anywhere. I love traveling. I'm going to go to Cayman Islands in a week, and then alone. And yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Tell us a little bit. I mean, I'm interested in Vietnam. I was thinking about going there myself this year. Whereabouts did you stay? How was the food? How was the gyms? Give us some insight.
I went to Ho Chi Minh City. I stayed there, and I was there for 3 weeks. The food's amazing. It's so cheap. And like with the conversion, like it was still cheap after. I went about 8 years ago, I think it was. And it was still like number one top place I've ever been.
How long would you recommend if money was no issue? How long would you stay?
I mean, I think 3 weeks was good. I felt like I'm like, okay, there's just so many places in the world to do. 3 weeks is great. If anything, 2 weeks, just because the travel time is so long. But
Nice.
yeah,
I wanted to just touch upon your training routine, like everyday training routine. Like I know you said you hit it in the morning. Like, can you give us some insight on what that looks like? Are you doing, first thing in the morning, you're doing one big workout, 1 hour of weights, and then 45 minutes of cardio? Like, can you just kind of give us a
yeah.
little bit more depth on that?
So I'll walk to the gym, which is about an hour. So I feel like I'm already like pretty warmed up for the gym. Once I get to the gym, I'll do like 10 minutes of Stairmaster, and then I'll go straight into. I bang out like my hard workout right in the morning, and I do about an hour and a half when I'm well, because I'm taking content and stuff. It takes so long, but I'd say an hour to an hour and a half is a good workout. And then I'll either go to like a Pilates class that's at the gym, or I'll go to a boxing like midday. But
Mm.
every day I'm doing like my morning routine is like the workout for sure. And then at
Mm.
night I'm always working. So
Are you eating before you hit the gym in the morning, or are you?
yeah, I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, always. Most of the time I'm eating my meal before I go to the gym, before I go on my walk.
And what would that meal look like? What's in that meal?
It's basically the same every day. I have one egg and then 150 grams of egg whites, spinach, and like 2 rice cakes with almond butter. I had that during prep, and like that was my like, oh, this is staying. It's a good, yeah.
This is it. I'm done.
This is the one. So that's pretty
Nice.
much my everyday breakfast. And the biggest thing that helped me out was during prep was like you don't have many decisions to make. You're the same thing as every day. Like every day you're going to the same gym, you're doing the same workouts. Like so the consistency was there, and that's what I like fell in love with. So I
Mm.
tried to like stick to the same meals roughly now.
Are you prepping your own food every week? Are you using a prep company? What's that look like?
No, I'm prepping my own food. I don't do prep companies. Um, not just it wasn't working really. It's just like it was going to waste or not. I'm constantly on the go. So yeah, usually I just prep my own meals on like a Sunday, last and then again on a Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have anything at all that you personally wanted to chat about?
Not, like nothing in particular. I don't know. Like just
Did you have any
this is like
questions for me?
this is like my very like so tell me about Nutrabolics. So like I know you run you're like the founder of Nutrabolics, right?
Me and my partner, yeah, we started it 24 years ago,
Okay.
and we're still trucking, still going. And we started it basically out of my parents' games room.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, I was really young, and what was I, like 20 years old at the time? And then we just kept it going over all these years, and it's been quite a ride. Let me tell you, a lot of ups and downs, but
For sure.
I think we're probably at the best place we've ever been. So
Yeah, good.
yeah.
Do you find like certain like what's your biggest like what keeps you going?
What
Like
keeps me going? I think that, I love creating. So, when I'm in the process of making new products, coming up with new marketing campaign, I mean, with Nutrabolics, our big thing is innovation, right?
yeah,
So we're constantly pushing the envelope, creating, right? So it's like we released last year our TV series Supplement Sharks on YouTube, right?
yeah.
And that was quite, for me, it was very fulfilling to be able to let your story out, because it's our story on the whole building Nutrabolics, right? Over the last 24 years. And we've even got some of the footage from back when we first started. I was 20 years old. We put it into the, TV series, right? So people can see like, the
Right.
real, and then we kind of just like, let people know, like, this wasn't just, people weren't saying yes, right? Everybody said no when we started, right? Like
Really.
everybody, right? Like nobody needed Nutrabolics. Nobody heard of Nutrabolics. Like it was like, 23 no's before you get a maybe, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
so, it was quite a hustle, but, we kept at it. We believed in the brand, and,
Yeah.
here we are, so that's pretty much it. And, now we're just looking at, putting out some exciting new products. We got a few in the pipeline, and I think 2026 could be maybe our best year yet,
Okay.
hopefully.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. How about you in terms of like, are you outside of fitness? what do you do for work? What's your kind of, hobbies?
So I'm a bartender at the Fairmont. It's a hotel. I've been with them for 6 years now. I was 5 years. I was in Banff. I started at the Fairmont in Banff, and then I transferred over to here. So I do that every night. I don't know if it's not a forever, but it's been amazing. It's just like all the people skills. I just love bartending. It's a good atmosphere, and just like talking to people, finding out more about people, especially in a hotel. It's great. Yeah, and then hobbies, just I love just I love traveling. Love my walks, love getting together with friends, love Pilates, love working out, love taking content, love
Nice.
yeah, love taking photos.
Do you have anything that you want to leave us with, the people out there, just any sort of feedback, motivation, anything that comes to mind that you want to leave us with before we check
Honestly,
out?
mainly just like motivation. It doesn't come like I would say it's all about discipline, and don't wait for the motivation to come, because that's going to come like after you're already acting and like after all your actions. Because once you start like feeling good and like getting in that mindset, like I love how I feel right now. And like even just like after a week of like eating healthy, eating clean, not drinking, or just like having balance at least and working out, you're like, I love this feeling. And that's the motivation. You're not going to just like wake up and be like, I have motivation today, I'm going to start. Some people do, but I feel like my motivation just like kept growing. The more like the better I felt. And so it's just like all about discipline. It's not about motivation as much. So I'd
I
say
like
kind of,
that.
yeah, you gotta put the work in, and then it'll come. It'll snowball. You'll just be like, I'm addicted to this kind of thing.
Nice. Well, thanks
But
for coming on
yeah, of
Perform. You've been
course.
an amazing guest.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right. Have yourself a
Okay.
great day.
You too. Thank you.